Welcome to Agusan Marsh. This is one of the largest areas of freshwater marsh in the Philippines. It's in the far south in Mindanao, and they say it contains 15% of all of Philippines' freshwater resources. I don't know if that's true or not. Now, this is basically what it looks like. This is the view from my little house I'm staying in Panlabehan village. Actually, it's also the name of this lake. If I turn the camera, you'll see there's an enormous lake out there. And it's a really beautiful spot. Come here really for the birds as well as some of the vegetation. You can see there's an awful lot of water hyacinth as well, choking the place up. The houses in the village here most of the year float on rafts. At the moment, a lot of them are actually high and dry, including the one I'm on. It's not exactly high and dry, but it's just not floating. The water is incredibly shallow. It's not the rainy season. If you can hear a lot of noise in the background, that's the people of the extended family, might say, of this village downstairs having a chat over breakfast. I think it sounds like they're arguing, but they're actually not. And it's about 7:30 in the morning. The sun has been up for a couple of hours. It's getting pretty warm already. So this is actually the final stop on this project, and I'll be heading off back towards Manila in a few hours, which is quite amazing to think that right now I'm here in this one of the remotest corners of the Philippines, and by this evening I should be in the capital city. So, assuming that is, of course, I managed to catch my flight, which is not actually certain. Anyway, so we've been doing some bird photography. We have been doing some bird photography. Hopefully we'll get to do a little bit more. And it's been really very pleasant. Beautiful spot. Okay, 5:30 in the morning, and we're just paddling out across. I can't remember the name of the lake now. Never mind. We're paddling out across one of the lakes in Agusan Marsh. Got my man behind me. Just look across at somebody else paddling a canoe just alongside us. We're in a tiny little canoe. Whoops! We're on a lake. It's very shallow. We're just running around. So. It's the dry season, even though it doesn't actually stop raining here. So we are trying to look for birds. It's supposed to be teeming with birds. We haven't actually seen very many so far, but not in yesterday's session. We got some photographs of a few terns and a few starlings. That's about it. But we're going to try on. We're going to carry on now and talk again later. We're back in business. No longer aground. Just shows how incredibly shallow this lake is. It's a vast area of water, but it's really very, very shallow at this time of year. And this is what it looks like. It's just after 5:30 in the morning. The sun is not quite over the horizon. It will be in a few minutes. And it's looking really beautiful. So peaceful out here. And I'll probably show you again later. There are people living in this marsh. They have houses that actually float on the water and they rise and fall, of course, with the levels of the water. Quite remarkable. Stunning place. Hopefully we will find some decent birds shortly. I'm still paddling across Agusan Marsh. Sun's well and truly up now. It's getting pretty bright. But it's beautiful. I hear a little bit of a breeze starting to get up. It's now, what's the time? 6:15 in the morning. And well, I'm going to have to move around looking straight into the sunlight here. Let me just turn this around. Got my man paddling away behind. We're having trouble spotting too many birds. We've got a few herons of different sorts, purple heron and a bittern, a couple of bitterns actually. And yeah, well, it's nice being out here anyway. We'll keep on looking out. We've got a couple more hours before we need to pack up and start heading off, but so far, not the thousands of birds we've been promised, that's for sure. One of the problems we have is all the trees. We can't actually get close to the trees because there's masses of water hyacinth, which is a real problem, which is choking up the waterways. That's a big problem, and as a result we can't actually get into some of the areas. We can't get close to the main area of the trees where of course most of the birds are likely to be. Anyway, we're going to continue, soldier on, see what we can get. Just want to show you a little of the village we're staying at. You can see the houses are all floating, at least it would be if there was enough water. I think most of these are at ground at the moment. this is where we're staying. In fact, this is the very building that I'm staying in. So scan around. A few more houses around the place. You think the trees are looking a bit bare and scrawny. Well, you're quite right, they are. I was here 20 years ago and they weren't like that at all then. And I'm told that they think the reason for all these trees looking so skeletal now is the fact that there's global warming, of course, gets the blame. Probably is true. The temperatures are actually rising and the trees are struggling to cope with the increase in temperature and they're not actually very comfortable. Possibly also pollution coming down from mining up in the mountains not too far away. So here we are, the final view of Panlabihan Lake. We paddle away back towards the big city, really, heading back towards Davao this evening and then this afternoon and then on to Manila this evening. So from one extreme to the other, this is really kind of the start of the homeward trip. Amazing, can't believe it. So, such a beautiful place.